Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. The Karnataka Minister, Rajanna, he made an explosive claim in the Assembly about 48 politicians, including central leaders, being victims of honey traps. This triggered a political storm with demands for a high-level investigation.
It is going on with my father and me. So he has also, I think he has spoken in Assembly regarding to investigate this. And so Home Minister also confirmed that. I think from past 5-6 months it had been started.
Senior Karnataka Minister Satish Jarkiholi claiming that 2 unsuccessful honey trap attempts were made on senior ministers in the state.
ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಈಗ ಚರ್ಚೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಇದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಪರಂಪರೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಅದು ಅವ್ರ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಅದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಈ ಥರ ಲೆಕ್ಕ.
Condemning the incident, Jarkiholi said politics should not stoop so low, adding that some people exploit such situations for political gains.
I don't know if anyone has been affected. Please let them file the police station complaint immediately. Don't waste time. Let investigation be done.
BJP was quick to respond. Former BJP Minister B. Sunil Kumar raised the issue in the Assembly, accusing the Congress government of running a honey trap factory.
ಇವತ್ತು ಸುದ್ದಿ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಸುದ್ದಿ ಹರಿದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕ ಬದುಕೇ ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ನುವಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಸುದ್ದಿಗಳು ಹರಿದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು? ವಿರೋಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ತನ್ನ ಪಕ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರತಿಸ್ಪರ್ಧಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿಕ್ಕಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಯಾವ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಾ? ಸರ್ಕಾರವೇ ಹನಿ ಟ್ರಾಪ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಾದ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು? ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಉಪದೇಶ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ?
Karnataka Home Minister has announced a probe into the case, but BJP is demanding a CBI investigation into the matter.
Yeah, I have no knowledge of it. I came to know only when Sunil Kumar was speaking on the floor of the House. But so far nobody has told us in the department, nor there is any complaint in the department.
Cut across political party, Congress, JDS as well as BJP. I think everybody is of the opinion this matter needs to be dealt very seriously. This matter needs to be investigated very seriously.
Honey trap isn't a new political tool in Karnataka. BJP MLA Muniratna faces charges in a honey trap case. Karnataka's ex-Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai's personal assistant was honey trapped and confidential documents were leaked. Back in 2022, JDS hasn't remained untouched either. In the latest case, with both the Congress and the BJP demanding a probe, the question is, who is honey trapping whom? Bureau Report, NDTV.
Social media giant X, owned by US billionaire Elon Musk, has filed a lawsuit in the Karnataka High Court against the Indian government, challenging what it calls unlawful content regulation and arbitrary censorship. It, in fact, raised concerns over the centre's interpretation of the Information Technology Act, particularly its use of Section 79(3)(b), which X argues violates Supreme Court's rulings and undermines free expression online. The lawsuit alleged that the government is using the section to create a parallel content blocking mechanism, bypassing the structured legal process outlined in Section 69A. X, in fact, also claimed that this approach contradicts the Supreme Court's 2015 ruling in the Shreya Singhal case, which established that content can only be blocked through a proper judicial process or the legally defined route under Section 69A. My colleague Nupur Dogra has more details.
Elon Musk-owned X has now moved the Karnataka High Court, alleging that the Sahyog portal launched by the centre is in fact a censorship portal, and has in fact sought a clarification from the High Court, direction from the High Court, that the centre cannot circumvent Section 69A of the IT Act and Supreme Court judgment in Shreya Singhal case when it comes to blocking online content. It has said that the centre is using Section 79(3)(b) to block online content content that it finds is unlawful or is spreading misinformation. The X has told Karnataka High Court that this particular development and the route to take down the online content that is now being used by the center is an obstruction to its operations and in India, in fact, and is against their how their business functions. So now they have moved the Karnataka High Court. The center, on the other hand, has called the Sayog portal that it has recently launched a portal to counter misinformation that is spread through social media intermediaries, and has in fact issued some guidelines. X says that it is in fact not the correct way to take down online content and is in fact contradictory to the Supreme Court verdict in the Shreya Singhal case.
The ongoing tension between X, the social media platform owned by Elon Musk, and the government of India primarily centers around content moderation, namely censorship and regulatory oversight. Now, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, or METI as it's known, has been scrutinizing X over the behavior of Grok. That's an artificial intelligence or AI chatbot. Now, reports indicate that Grok has been generating controversial responses, including the use of Hindi slang and expletives, as well as inflammatory comments about political figures like the Prime Minister. Separately, X has filed a petition today in the Karnataka High Court challenging the government's use of Section 79(3)(b) of the IT Act to take down online content. Remember this, Section 79(3)(b), because I'll be explaining that. Now, X also objects to the creation of the Sahyog portal, a site where complaints can be lodged against X. So X argues that the government's application of Section 79(3)(b), which I was referring to, and also the Sahyog portal, which I mentioned, creates, and I quote, an unlawful and unregulated censorship mechanism that bypasses statutory safeguards. Now, the government counters that argument of X and argues that 79(3)(b) of the IT Act does empower it to notify intermediaries like X to remove unlawful content quickly and effectively. X says that content blocking should only occur under another section, Section 69A of the IT Act, which it says provides a structured process, including judicial oversight, written reasons, and opportunities for appeal, safeguards which X says are being ignored under the current practice. Now, the government counters this and says that Section 79(3)(b), which the government endorses, explicitly states that intermediaries lose their immunity. So an intermediary here refers to X. They lose their immunity if they fail to act upon government notifications of unlawful content. The government argues Section 79(3)(b) is not dependent on the section which Twitter or X is referring to, which is Section 69A. The government says that they are separate. So the bigger question, why would the government want to do this? Why? Because the government feels that it needs the power to curb misinformation, lawlessness, and threats to public order, especially on platforms like X.
Now, amid the X controversy over its AI Grok chatbot, a consensus seems to build in the parliament. All parties agreed on regulation of AI with strict rules for social media platforms. Here's a report by Himanshu Shekhar.
Several users have complained against Grok AI, the chatbot of X owned by the world's richest billionaire, Elon Musk, alleging that it uses abusive language while responding to their queries. According to sources, the Ministry of Information and Technology has taken cognizance of these complaints, sought clarification from X, and is investigating the matter. Meanwhile, there appears to be political consensus in Parliament on dealing strictly with platforms like Grok AI.
डिजिटल पर्सनल डेटा प्रोटेक्शन में चाहे आर्टिफिशियल जनरेटेड अगर अब्यूजेस हैं तो मेरा मानना है कि वो सारे कवर होंगे. अगर कहीं स्पेस अनऑक्युपाइड है तो मुझे लगता है कि रूल्स के द्वारा उनको कवर करना चाहिए. और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस कोई एक्सेप्शन नहीं है, उससे कोई एग्जम्पशन नहीं है कि अब्यूजिव लैंग्वेज वगैरह यूज़ कर सकें. तो सोशल मीडिया इंक्लूड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आल्सो. तो वो भी मेरा मानना है कि वो भी कवर होना चाहिए।
तो मेरा ये कहना है कि AI इज समथिंग व्हिच नीड्स टू बी रेगुलेटेड इन द लॉन्ग रन।
तो आपको लगता है कि संसद में इस पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए?
और खाली संसद में नहीं होगी, इसमें पूरे विश्व में होगी चर्चा, क्योंकि ये प्रॉब्लम खाली देश इंडिया की नहीं होगी, ये पूरे विश्व की प्रॉब्लम है।
Amid the ongoing controversy surrounding Grok AI, the government has provided a significant clarification in the Lok Sabha regarding the regulation of information generated with the help of artificial intelligence. In a written response on Wednesday, IT Minister Jitin Prasada stated, "Content generated by AI or any platform falls under the purview of IT laws, and the government is vigilant about the risks posed by AI and is prepared to take necessary steps to prevent its misuse." With Kanan Patra and Himanshu Shekhar, NDTV Bureau Report.
In a case involving an attack on a minor in Uttar Pradesh, the Allahabad High Court has ruled that actions like grabbing breasts or snapping a pajama string do not constitute rape or attempt to rape, but can be considered aggravated sexual assault, which is a comparatively lesser charge. Now, in an order that has drawn sharp criticism and even calls for the Supreme Court's intervention, the Allahabad High Court draws a distinction between the preparation stage and actual attempt in case of rape allegations. My colleague Nupur Dogra has more details, but before that, let's listen in to what senior Supreme Court lawyer Indra Jaisingh has to say.
What we are witnessing really is some kind of backlash from the judiciary of this country when it comes to issues relating to women and more particularly violence against women. The judgment of the High Court of Allahabad, which holds that a man groping the breasts of a woman, trying to strip her of her clothing, dragging her behind the culvert does not amount to attempt to rape. Well, then I don't know what else amounts to.
Well, the Allahabad High Court recently modified a summoning order, ruling that actions such as grabbing a child victim's breast, breaking the strings of her pajama, and attempting to drag her beneath a culvert before fleeing do not constitute the offence of rape or attempt to rape. Consequently, the court altered the charges against the two accused who were originally summoned to stand trial under sections of IPC that is section 376 and that is rape and punishment for attempt to commit an offence, that is under the protection POCSO Act, that is protection of children from sexual offences. Now the High Court instead of charging them with attempt to rape has in fact directed that they be tried under lesser charges of section 354B IPC, that is criminal using criminal force with intention to disrobe, and an aggravated sexual assault section under the POCSO Act. Now this has actually sparked today arguments and controversy across India, and has in fact sent shockwaves as people are questioning that if this act on the part of the two accused does not amount to attempt to rape, then what does? Because as laid down in the High Court order, it clearly said that then taking the child, the 11-year-old girl was actually taken to a secluded place, and she was groped, and her pajama strings were undone, and it was only when people came to rescue then the two accused evaded from the place. So people are questioning that what might have happened if people had not reached to the rescue of the child, and wouldn't that be a rape case in that sense? Now if people had not approached, so how will now courts define that a particular act comes under an attempt to rape or not? So it is in fact a very concerning judgment, as many people have pointed out. In fact, senior lawyer has also asked the Supreme Court, has urged the Supreme Court that it should take suo motu cognizance of this particular case, as it can have larger ramifications on how such cases are dealt by lower courts going forward after this High Court judgment.
Welcome back. Officials from the Bureau of Indian Standards conducted a surprise raid at the Amazon and Flipkart warehouses in Tamil Nadu as part of an ongoing crackdown on uncertified products. The operation, carried out by two teams from the BIS Chennai branch office on March 19, led to the seizure of 3,600 non-certified products from both e-commerce giants.
Bureau of Indian Standards Chennai branch office had information that many of the products which are already under mandatory certification through the quality control orders are being sold under the e-commerce platforms without the ISA mark. So yesterday we conducted two raids simultaneously at two locations of Amazon and Flipkart, and there we found about more than 3,600 products which were not having the standard mark, that is the ISA mark, though they were under mandatory certification.
In what's being seen as a strong crackdown by the Bureau of Indian Standards against e-commerce platforms who allegedly sell uncertified goods which require mandatory certification by BIS, BIS officials today conducted searches at two warehouses run by both Amazon and Flipkart at Thiruvallur outside Chennai. Authorities say goods worth 36 lakh rupees have been recovered. These are items that require mandatory certification, including insulated flasks, insulated food containers, metallic portable water bottles, ceiling fans, toys, children's diapers and things like that. And at the moment there's no response yet from Amazon or Flipkart, but authorities say they launched their search operations yesterday after specific tip-off that these platforms sell large amounts of uncertified goods which require mandatory certification. If proven, this could lead to fines well beyond 2 lakh rupees in proportion to the value of these goods seized, and those responsible could be behind bars up to 2 years jail. So far, there's no response from Amazon or Flipkart. We expect a kind of a statement explaining their stand in this, but certainly authorities say of late, the online platforms, particularly e-commerce platforms, have become a kind of a hotspot to sell uncertified products which require mandatory certification in the interest of safety, in the interest of public welfare, and this cannot be compromised. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.